I'll tell you what, the boat ramps have absolutely been on fire over the last couple weeks, delivering endless content, and I could not ignore that, especially since we got the Miami Boat Ramps channel as well. So today we're going to do one a little focused on that, not the Miami Boat Ramps, but just the boat ramps in general. Welcome back, crew, to this episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. Now, the next clip is probably one of the most viral clips of the year so far, but I was blessed enough to have somebody who was down there at the time of this send me the entire 8-minute video of this going on. And man, I'll tell you what, the entire 8 minutes delivers. The 20 seconds that everybody's seen that's kind of gone viral, it's good, it is funny, but this gives you the context as to what all really occurred on this day, starting with right here. Now, most of you have seen this section of the clip, and many of you probably didn't see that first 10 or 20 seconds that we aired right there, but what happens after this is just as gold as the event going on. As this crew, the boat fell off, and they have to get it back down into the water, and, well, they decide what better way to do that than just use the trailer. Let's just push it right back down the concrete, down into the water, scuffing it up. Now, the guys did try and winch this one back onto the trailer off of the concrete, but the winch wasn't long enough to actually reach the boat from the trailer, forcing them to do it this way, which is a pretty rough way to do it. But the gold part of these clips is finding out here at the end why they really didn't even care if they just pushed it down there, scraping it up. That is right, he just said it's not even his boat, it is Katrina's boat, thus showing why the care is not really being taken so much for this boat here. They do start to get it back onto the trailer, and it still just continues to be a nightmare mess as they try and winch it on. Our guy's doing everything he can. He doesn't have the winch lock on, so the boat decides it's going to slide back a few times on him. His buddy winds up trying to take off in the truck again a few times on him, and man, what an absolute mess. But this is just a quick reminder why you don't let friends borrow boats. As a matter of fact, I probably would only loan one of my boats to 3 people that I know in the world, and those 3 people, none of them would ever actually ask to borrow my boat. I know that for a fact. Just the same way they would probably let me borrow theirs, but I would never ask to borrow it either. Because anybody who's responsible enough to actually borrow your boat doesn't want the responsibility, the headache, and already knows that things can go wrong quickly out there on the water, outside of your control, and it's not worth borrowing somebody else's vessel just to have things go wrong. As I'm sure Katrina has learned her lesson by letting her friends here borrow the boat, and then all of a sudden seeing the video evidence later of how well they actually decided to go ahead and take care of her vessel. Now, these aren't the only guys in the past week that had some trouble. There has been plenty of video footage that has come up of people such as these guys getting their truck stuck, having to release the trailer and the boat from the truck to try and get the truck pulled back out of this makeshift boat ramp that we see here. Yes, not all of us are blessed to have those beautiful concrete ramps like we see at 79th and Black Point, where you can just kind of back down and pray you don't slide off the ramp from the algae. But this crew, they decided they're going to hook up to their buddy and see if we can go ahead and get her towed out. But as you can imagine, here on Boneheaded Boaters, things don't tend to go as planned, and they definitely don't go as planned here as pop goes the weasel as the line snaps as they're trying to get this thing out. And speaking of trying to get things out, nothing like being one of those lifestyle people where you've got the lifestyle van, the lifestyle boat, trying to get out of the boat ramp with your buddy doing the exact same thing, trying to help you get through that lifestyle. These ones are always tough. I mean, if you grew up in the 80s, your parents probably had one of these vans at some point in time, and you guys wound up taking trips in them. But now today, all I think about is those guys who decide they're going to live in a van for a living and sit here and vlog on YouTube, kind of like we're doing. Thanks for watching, crew. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening out on your waterways, be sure to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram. Let us know. You might see your stories over here. Just like Todd Smith, Don Miller, Brianca Carlo, Miami Boat Ramps, Surfbright, and Adam Coolidge did this week. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.